Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. Welcome back to another episode of Epic Drone Show. Let's see, this is episode number... God, we're already on number 44, so this is a live show. If you're watching this at approximately 8:30 p.m. New York City time, this is a live show, so anything you type within the video's comments, I can see, and I can interact with y'all face on video. So if this is your first time viewing one of my live shows, welcome aboard. Also, if it is, you can go to epicdroneshow.com and find all the previously recorded live shows. So if you want to play catch-up, go for it. Again, this show, it's all about drones, so any drone comments, any drone questions you have, obviously, like all of my shows, keep it clean, keep it appropriate for all age groups, and most importantly, let's have a good time. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Obviously, it goes without saying that I wanted to follow up regarding the Mavic Air. Now, I've been trying to find flaws with the Mavic Air, and actually tomorrow I plan to spend a lot of time in the field with the Mavic Air again and see if I can encounter any issues. I mean, it's been a rock solid piece of equipment. So, with that being said, I did want to comment about a few additional things that I have discovered with the Mavic Air. And let me make sure, I had to make sure my own line backup was paused. I didn't want that to interfere. But one thing that I did find, it's not a problem, but it's something that would be easy for someone to forget. These little landing gear right here, it would be easy to forget to pop them down. And actually, I've done that by mistake. Even though they're brightly colored, sometimes it's easy to just pop out and go, because that is a flat surface. Fortunately, and also this piece right here, there's been many times where I've failed to take it off, and you've got to take it off to fly, or take it off to even turn the drone on, because the camera is going to move around and try to initialize. And one of the most loyal viewers on the channel, he mentioned that he tied a brightly colored piece of string to this, and that acted as a visual reminder for him to take it off. And I need to do that. I haven't done that yet, but it was a brilliant idea. So, yeah, very small amount of gripes so far with the Mavic Air. I mean, again, this is easy to forget to take off, but it makes up for it because it's so easy to put on, and it has that reassuring snap and that tactile feel. You know it's closed. As far as gimbal protector is concerned, this is the best gimbal protector yet. The other ones worked. The Phantom one worked. The Phantom's gimbal protectors worked. The Mavic Pro's gimbal protector worked. It was a little confusing because people didn't know. They're like, should I fly with the Mavic Pro gimbal protector on, or should I not? Because DJI made it with a very transparent colored plastic. Whereas with this one, they made it look really smoky. Now, if they had wanted to be best practice, in my opinion, they made it look smoky, and then they put the DJI logo in the front. But best practice, in my opinion, would have been to have made this rather a bright and solid color, so that it's apparent that you shouldn't fly with it, and it's bright, so you should remember to take it off. And as previously mentioned, the way that this latches into the body, what would prevent DJI from adding a switch in here that if this was on, that the drone couldn't power on? I think that would be a good touch. And then also, for the landing gear, if the landing gear are not flipped down, that the drone wouldn't power on. Just a few things to force people to not forget. Again, those are small complaints. The back door on this thing, a lot of y'all have commented about it, and you're like, man, mine's pretty loose. It's not a problem. Mine, I'm still keeping it, as you can see here. Let me hold it close to the camera. As you can see, I'm keeping it half ajar. So on this side over here, it's open. And that way I can just easily put my fingernail in there and pop it open. Now, if I close it all the way, and let's put this to the test. Let's see, since I've been flying this a lot now, if I can get it open with my fingernail. And I can. So it loosened up over time. And this wasn't a problem for everyone, but it was for mine. Out from the factory, mine was really tight. So just for me to make myself feel better, I'm going to continue to keep it half cracked so that I don't encounter a situation where I'm out in the field and maybe I don't have a coin or something in my pocket to pop it open with. So very small amount of complaints there, but I do believe that it's super important to keep to keep everything honest from a review perspective, and that's something with with a lot of not just YouTube but websites, blogs, etc. A lot of these reviews that people find, they're over the top. They're professionally filmed. Everything is just smoothly edited, this, that, and the other, and it leaves one to wonder, is that review even authentic, or was that just another production? So, for my channel, what I like to do here on Epic Drone Show, I like to tell you the good and the bad, and I wish I had more bad things to say about the Mavic Air. That's it's unusual to not have a bunch of bad things to say. I mean, I had plenty of bad things to say about the Mavic Pro. I had a ton of bad things to say about the Typhoon H and the Inspire, the DJI Inspire. But this Mavic Air, I just, I want to find problems with it. I mean, not that I want it to be a bad drone, but I want to find problems but I can't. I mean, it's the weirdest thing. This thing is that good. So, watch me say that tonight, and then tomorrow out in the field, something catastrophic happens with it. But if it does, it should be on video. So, Greg says, camera equal to or better Mavic Pro's camera. The camera, okay, so Mavic Air camera, and that's a great question. We're gonna pit it against various drones. So first of all, I was on the fence with the Mavic Air, which I have here, the Mavic Air's camera versus the Phantom 4. Because until I picked up the Mavic Air and flew it a few times, the Phantom 4 was still my favorite drone. Because with the Phantom 4, I could get consistently rock solid, stable, sharp 4K 30 video. Now the Mavic Pro was not as good for me as the Phantom 4, and the reason the Mavic Pro was not as good in my eyes as the Phantom 4 is that the Mavic Pro had a tap to focus requirement. So what I found, because of the tap to focus requirement that the Mavic Pro had, my video quality was a crapshoot. It was either going to be focused or it wasn't. And I didn't have a high degree of confidence that even if I remembered to tap to focus, that when I landed and downloaded the video, if it was going to be well focused. So for that reason, even though I admired the Mavic Pro's performance, the Mavic Pro's small travel size, small travel weight, and the fact that it did 4K 30, I hated the fact that Mavic Pro had tap to focus. So despite the smaller travel size and the lesser travel weight, I was stuck with something that was inconsistent. It produced inconsistent video results, and for me that was a deal breaker. Because my main purpose for enjoying this hobby is really cool video. And in today's market, 4K video. So Phantom 4 versus Phantom 4 Pro. Well, again, Phantom 4 Pro, hey, it had a 1-inch sensor and it did 4K 60, which is really cool. But again, Phantom 4 Pro was plagued by the same thing that made me dislike the Mavic Pro, and that was the tap to focus requirement. I could not depend upon consistently excellent Phantom 4 Pro video. It was a crapshoot. And then also on the Phantom 4 Pro, and I had 2 units, sent one back, got another one, my video would intermittently, I would just call it stutter. It was like this weird shake. And check out my older Phantom 4 Pro videos on epicdroneshow.com, and you can find that documented in the form of a video. But I was not impressed with the Phantom 4 Pro. So back to your question, is a camera better, or is a Mavic Air's camera better or equal to the Mavic Pro? I will say the Mavic Air's camera is better. And I will say the Mavic Air's camera is better than the Phantom 4's camera, and also better than the Mavic Pro's camera. Now, and I'm saying this based upon image quality. There's no tap to focus requirement. I just get it up in the air. It just does its thing, and I land it, and it looks good, and it's consistently excellent experience. So far, I have not had any footage that I filmed with the Mavic Air that has failed me. Now, sure, there were times where I was flying somewhat directly into the sun, and I could capture some lens flare, but I've never had the focus fail me. I've never had, on a small amount of occasions, I have had You know, when it was really windy, I got what am I trying to say? The gimbal. When it was super windy, I may have seen just a brief twitch here and there because of the high wind, but that was that's not a common experience. So yeah, Greg, tap to focus is definitely a drawback for me. Oh, and by the way, if you're looking to get a drone, go to IrixGuy.com, and you can find all the colors of the Mavic there, the different bundles. This obviously is the Mavic Mavic Air Flame Red, but you can find all the Mavic Air bundles. You can find all the other drones, all the way from the Spark all the way up to the Inspire. I've got them all on my website. Just go to epicdroneshow.com. But tap to focus for me is definitely a drawback, and it's a drawback. Some people will say it's a negative to not have tap to focus. Now, let me give you a quick summary of who I am and why I shoot like I shoot. So when I'm on the ground and I'm not flying a drone, I've got a very high-end Sony Alpha camera with Carl Zeiss lenses on it. And even if those lenses are autofocus AF, I'm often kicking them into manual mode so that I can get consistently rock-solid, perfectly focused video when I'm doing the face-on video segments. So in that scenario, you know, being able to manually focus and really dial in my focus and create that what's referred to as depth of field or bokeh or defocused background, whatever you want to call it, where it looks like the subject is completely separated from their surroundings in the background, that would be an advantage for someone wanting tap to focus. Now, you know, when you're dealing with a drone, typically, due to the battery life, this, that, and the other, you're probably not going to want to tinker with all those manual camera settings. You're probably just going to want to fly, and you're probably going to want to fly and assume that while that video is recording, that it's capturing consistently excellent stability, consistently excellent focus, and something you don't have to tinker with, because ultimately you're flying that drone and you don't want to have to deal with all this other stuff. So that's just my opinion. Again, there's a lot of people that feel differently, and that's perfectly fine. But you say, are you thinking May for Mavic Pro 2? Mavic Pro 2, let's see, it's February now. I don't think it'll be as late as May. Now, the consensus opinion seems to be that Mavic Pro 2 will release before the Phantom 5. Now, personally, and I will go with the bandwagon here and say that it's plausible that Mavic Pro 2 may release before Phantom 5, but my gut was telling me that the Phantom 5 should release first. And the reason being, the NAB show, the big broadcaster show, where you got big money and people that like the big cameras and the toys, that is in, is that the first part of April, I think? So my gut would say that it would make most sense for DJI to release the Phantom 5 in March or April, you know, to correlate with the NAB show, and then bring out Mavic Pro 2 towards the end of the calendar year, because if they release Mavic Pro 2 now, it could potentially cannibalize the sales of their Mavic Air if it's competitively priced, and especially if it offers a lot greater feature set like 4K 60, 1-inch sensor camera, OcuSync versus Wi-Fi. And again, this uses Wi-Fi, but don't think of that as being a negative, because I've flown the Mavic Air throughout the visual line of sight range, and it hasn't failed me once. I haven't lost FPV view. I haven't lost controls. And it is worth mentioning that DJI calls this enhanced Wi-Fi. So, you know, initially I just felt that enhanced was just an excuse for, you know, to make up for, oh, we didn't put the good stuff in there. But honestly, this works great and hasn't failed me once. Now, again, I don't fly long range. I fly line of sight to be safe and responsible. So, you know, if you were someone and you're in a country that may allow less restricted drone flying, then, you know, the Mavic Air may not be for you. But if you're flying line of sight to be safe and responsible, this is probably more than you would need. Clam says, so yeah, I think we're definitely, I would say 90% certain we'll see a Phantom 5, oh, there's Sean Coonery, or a Mavic Pro 2 in March or April. And the one that doesn't release then will probably come out towards the end of the year. Because I think DJI realized they really sat on their hands too long, and a lot of their fan base started to lose interest because they sat on their hands for so long. I mean, it was 2016 November when the Phantom 4 Pro came out. That's a long time. I mean, it's just now. I mean, February 2018, November 2016, all the way until February 2018. That was a long wait for something significantly new. Clam says, do you think they will have an update to fix the Mavic Pro tap to focus so you will not have to tap to focus? I don't think they will. And I don't know if maybe it's could be a hardware limitation of the camera. Could it be something that may not be able to be addressed by way of a software and or firmware update? So, you know, I wouldn't have the expectation that they would do that, and it's I don't know. A Dark Horse says, I heard from owners the camera is still better in the Pro. So the Phantom 4 Pro, yeah, there's no doubt from a hardware perspective, Phantom 4 Pro definitely has a better camera. It's got a 1-inch sensor. This is not a 1-inch sensor. The Mavic Pro is not a 1-inch sensor. So the Phantom 4 Pro definitely has a better camera. But from a user's perspective, I will still take the Mavic Air's camera over Mavic Pro, Phantom 4, or Phantom 4 Pro, simply because I don't have tap to focus. I get consistently excellent 4K 30 video. This writes at 100 megabits per second, by the way. Don't confuse that with 100 frames per second. So it's and Clam says, I think the Mavic Pro camera is better too. Well, you know, that's possible. I mean, if you're proficient with using the tap to focus and that's not perceived as a negative, then you may be able to capture better results with the Mavic Pro camera. And you definitely, if you were proficient with tap to focus, you should definitely be able to capture better results with the Phantom 4 Pro camera, because you're getting 4K 60 and you're getting that by way of a 1-inch sensor. So, you know, just some really really cool stuff. But I mean, what's awesome is that DJI, despite going smaller and lighter weight, they're coming up with with better and better camera technologies, and I attribute a lot of that to their recent acquisition of Hasselblad. You know, Hasselblad, if you're not familiar with them, and I may have mispronounced that, but I mean, it's a super duper high-end camera company. I mean, they're super high-end, like super snobby camera types, you know, like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 cameras, if not more. And they acquired that company. So, you know, hopefully the trickle down will benefit even the small drones like we're using, like the Mavic Airs and the Phantoms. You know, hopefully we'll start to see some really high end. Hey, Sean Coonery, you're in the way here. Sean Coonery, the big Maine Coon cat, came in the studio and he's on the desk and he's rocking it. So I gotta you're gonna have to move, sir. Oh, he just sat down. There we go. Don't pull the microphone out. Hold on just a second here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. He stopped moving. So, Clam 5002. I think the Mavic Pro 2 camera is better. Dark Horse says, if I'm right, the Pro shoots in vlog as well. I haven't tested it, but you know, I have messed. And for everyone out there that's not familiar with LOG, a lot of cameras have it. Like when you're dealing with your Sony Alphas, you got SLOG, different modes. At a high level, what those modes enable someone to do, they enable someone to shoot footage. It's kind of like photography. If you shoot in RAW, R-A-W, if you shoot in RAW, when you go into post-production, you have greater ability to change the color saturation, greater ability to just overall better fine-tune that image. And the same is applicable for video. So if you shoot in log for video, you can do a lot more with that video in post-production. Now personally, for photos, for still photos, I shoot everything in JPEG plus RAW. That way I've got a JPEG I can use immediately. Then I've got the RAW that's downloaded to my computer so that if I want to go in and touch it up, make it look like a professional photo, I can do it. Now with video, I don't shoot in log, and maybe that's something I ought to start tinkering with in the future, because I know with photos how much it's done for me with still photos, and I'm assuming that that with video it could be really cool. So, hey Sean Coonery, you're you're getting in the camera here. Yeah, I've got the big Maine Coon cat, Sean Coonery. I wanted to mention, by the way, and I know y'all have appreciate all y'all's business. The orders have really been flying through. But the Epic Drone Show merchandise, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you can go to epicdroneshow.com, go to store, and then go to merch. You can find all kinds of stuff, not just clothes, but you can find coffee mugs and a lot of stuff. And I'm going to try to add some additional merchandise here in the very near future. So, again, that's epicdroneshow.com. Hey, Sean Coonery, you're in the middle of the desk. He's pushed me off the desk. So, to see, now I'm further away from the camera because he had to sit down and occupy the studio here. And he got fur all over the keyboard. So, hold on. Yep. Yeah, but again, today, this is my favorite drone, Mavic Air. So I'm excited. Something I want to do, and weather permitting, I plan to do tomorrow, and I'll have a lot of videos for you. I found a lot of hidden value in the Mavic Air, and it's a product of the small size of this drone. Even when this thing is unfolded, even when the Mavic Air is unfolded, it is super duper manageable. Not just from a travel perspective, but also this adds value to the performance. Because see what I can do now, since I've got such a small drone, I can fly through more challenging spaces. So when I'm out in the wilderness, I can fly between trees more easily because I've got such a small drone. And then it's opened up a whole new, what am I trying to say? Well, a whole new level, an entirely new and fresh feeling of excitement, because now I can take this sucker out and film in very tight and challenging environments. So, that's part of the thrill. I mean, I love, as y'all know, I love capturing drone videos, and that's one of my favorite things about having a drone is being able to go out and capture a video from a unique perspective. But having something so small enables me to capture from an even more unique perspective, because I can fly in very tight spaces and capture stuff that a larger drone like the Mavic Pro or the Phantom would be more challenging to fly in those environments. So that's some hidden value with the Mavic Air that you may not have thought about. And I didn't think about it until I was out, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool, because I like to fly in the wilderness probably about 2 or 3 feet off the water, which is stupid because I could potentially lose the drone, but it's a risk-reward type thing. I think it's cool to get in those areas that are tight and and film videos that capture that environment from a totally different point of view, which is pretty cool. Dark Horse says, great point on the size. Thanks, man. Yeah, I got a ton of people tuned in out there. I really appreciate everyone tuning in. If there's anything in particular that you want to see me address in upcoming videos, let me know, because I'm always looking for video topics. I sit down and I look through my notes. I keep notes on my smartphone, and I'm constantly adding new video ideas as soon as those video ideas enter my head. So I've always got a list of to be filmed videos. So what I need from y'all are video topics. So anything you want to see me address within upcoming videos, shoot me a message. The best way to get me is probably my Facebook fan page, facebook.com/IrixGuy. But message me anywhere: Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. So that's what I'm looking for. Just new video ideas for drones. Dark Horse said it'd be great to add it would be great to add it to my camera bag instead of carrying yet another case. Well, you know, that's a good point, but what is cool about this case, though, is that you can stick the way this expands, you can stick your controller in there, which I found that to be kind of neat. But yeah, an all-in-one case. Speaking of that, I have a a waterproof and ruggedized case on the way for my Mavic Air, so stay tuned for the video, the link to order that and everything. I'll get that video up as soon as I get the case. But I think y'all are going to like that. And, you know, obviously being waterproof and ruggedized has always been a requirement for my drone cases. So it'll be great to have that same luxury available for my Mavic Air. This case, it came with the Mavic Air. I mean, obviously it's not waterproof and it's not ruggedized, but it does provide an ample amount of protection. And, you know, something you can do, you can check out my website, IrixGuy.com, to find dry bags. But if you want to just throw this in a backpack with other gear and then put all that, have a dry bag with you, you know, should the weather change, just put all your stuff down in a dry bag versus carrying a hard case, waterproof and ruggedized case. So that's, you know, that's just a thought. But yeah, this Mavic Air has been so far has been a real treat. And again, it's my favorite drone today. Today being February the 24th of 2018. You know, I gave it a few days before I said this is my favorite drone, and it is now. This is my #1 DJI drone, or drone of any type. I mean, DJI is my favorite drone brand, but yeah, this replaced Phantom 4 as being my favorite drone. Yeah, that pouch right there, that's what's funny. I didn't realize that either. And there was a viewer, and they commented, they're like, oh, you can put your controller in the side pouch. And I never realized that. I just thought it was like a silly pouch on there. I'm like, why do they put this in there? But, you know, you may not have realized that it's stretchy, and you can put your controller in there. That's what Randy said. He didn't even realize a pouch till I mentioned it. Yep. Yeah, welcome to the club, man. It was, and see, that's what's so good about these shows, because, you know, we all get together, we all interact, and we all learn from one another. And again, I didn't know about that pouch. Somebody said, hey, there's a pouch on there. I'm like, okay. So now I know there's a pouch, and now you know there's a pouch. And obviously everyone knows that, you know, if you're looking for anything drone related, IrixGuy.com. Again, I'm an independent channel, and don't have the marketing budget that a lot of these channels have, but I try to best utilize the equipment by way of Epic Drone Show. So, you know, check out IrixGuy.com. If you have friends, family, people you don't even know that are looking to buy a drone, send them that way, because anything you can do significantly helps the channel. So that's great stuff. And yeah, so tomorrow again I'm going to take Mavic Air out and really get a lot of fresh footage, and I'll be uploading that throughout the next few days. If I do encounter any issues with the Mavic Air, hopefully I won't, but if I do, I'll be sure to share those with everyone, because I've been wanting to encounter an issue, but I haven't. Excuse me, I haven't. And that's a testament to the quality of DJI's products. And it seems like, you know, as they've matured as a company, and they've learned more about the technology that they've invented and they've tweaked, it seems that everything's getting to be more and more refined. So I don't know if all of y'all were here for the Phantom 1 days, but the Phantom 1, it presented a lot of troubleshooting challenges. You know, it didn't necessarily work 100% correctly all the time, but it was amazing. And it's incredible to see how rapidly DJI has innovated, and they've created, you know, they've gone from a Phantom down to something this size now, and it just blows my mind. And again, as many of us have mentioned, drones are still in their infancy. So what we see today, this stuff's going to be radically different within a few years. But again, it goes without saying that we've got to make sure that we always use drones safely and responsibly, and that anytime we have the opportunity to preach drone safety, it's important to do so, because if we don't, this hobby that we all love may no longer exist at an international level, because misusing a drone is a serious issue. So Randy said, had an issue today, attempted to do droney quick shot and it wouldn't execute. Had warning of wind being too high. Maybe that prevented the droney. Yeah, that's a good possibility, man. The software on this is pretty smart. And actually a viewer had commented, I think it was my video about the wind speed, and when I was flying and it popped up that, like you were saying, that wind, high wind speed or whatever the verbiage was, that my drone wouldn't fly forward. And they said that may have been because of the obstacle avoidance hitting the wind or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's a smart drone. Dark Horse says, with the Pro, what is the Platinum version all about? Better in some way? Yeah, Randy nailed it. Quieter propellers. Yeah, and hey, Dark Horse, if you're looking for the Platinum, the Mavic Pro Platinum, you can find it on epicdroneshow.com. So, I've got all the drones there. But, yeah, basically, and there's a lot of people that said they've taken those quieter props and put them on the regular Mavic Pro, and it seemed to be pretty much the same thing. And I think the Mavic Pro Platinum may have a little bit better battery life. I may be wrong with that statement, but I wouldn't call it an upgrade. I would call it a minor and extremely minor refresh. But yeah, it's going to be a good day tomorrow. Hopefully the flying conditions are great, because I'm well overdue for filming some fresh videos with the Mavic Air. So with that being said, stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this live show up. You'll be able to find the previously recorded version and all other episodes on epicdroneshow.com. Again, check out epicdroneshow.com for your Epic Drone Show merchandise. If you're looking to buy a drone, you can find every drone on the market there. You can find all the drone accessories. You can find all the previously recorded Epic Drone Show live shows and a whole lot more. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. It's youtube.com/IrixGuy. And I hope to have another live show within the next few days. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.